Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to be here to welcome you to this course this advanced training course on integration of renewables in the Mediterranean energy market. And first of all, let me thank the co-organizer of this course, Mr. Bigotti and Professor Inzoli, and for making this opportunity real and for organizing this course together with us, Enel Foundation. But let me introduce Enel Foundation that I don't know if everyone here knows. Enel Foundation is the Strategic Research and Study Center of the Enel Group. It is a non-profit organization entirely funded by the Enel Group, and it's a very young initiative that was funded in 2012. And for those who don't know Enel, Enel is a progressive energy company. It's a global operator, energy operator, active in production, the distribution, and energy market. In different countries, we are operating in more than 30 countries, with some reference places. The company is based in Italy, but with some reference places in Europe, Italy, Spain, and Eastern Europe, Latin America, North America, and now starting with Africa. So our aim as a Strategic Research and Study Center of an electric utility is to develop research and study, exploring and analyzing trends in the energy sector, to try to provide a scientific, rigorous, and common interpretation of these dynamics. But what is very important for us is to try to understand long-term and short-term dynamics in the energy sector. And what we do as a methodology is to join different stakeholders in our studies. Stakeholders coming from business sector, from academia, from institutions, leveraging on our knowledge, but not only our knowledge and the knowledge of the partner, but also the core competencies and the knowledge developed within the Enel Group. So our studies are mainly developed in cooperation with the utility and research and academic partners. And these research activities are very often the basis of our multi-flag capacity building initiatives. These initiatives we are now involved in is one of the initiatives we have as multi-flag capacity building initiatives. We have also an activity related to the coordination of partnership with university, with different universities. We have global partner university, and we try in this activity to develop cooperations with the leading universities around the world. And among these we are very proud to have this cooperation with the global partnership with Politecnico di Milano in several areas. So what is our methodology? We basically try to act in the frame of the research and strategic study development on three different levels. One is to observe the dynamics of the energy sector. And this observation leads us to develop different studies on energy sector scenario. Here I report some of the main areas of our activities. We cannot go, of course, in some detail in this, but what I wish to do is just to have a closer look to some of these areas, because we believe that all these areas are important to compose a perspective, a multidisciplinary perspective of the energy sector. So we cannot approach the energy sector without having in mind the complexity of different interests and stakeholders that are involved in this sector. That's why we have developed a research program in urban studies. We will have a closer look to this program later, on electric mobility and on energy access, but also on the development of renewables by itself, and the development of renewables and the development of integrated network to host different kind of renewables in different energy markets. But observation leads us to analyze and to develop appropriate tool for the energy sector, tool that lead us to develop modeling of the energy system, and we have an interesting program of modeling in cooperation with the International Energy Agency, but also to develop modeling specific for sectors such as electric mobility, but also urban studies. And finally, we try to measure the impact of our projects, and for that we are cooperating always with Politecnico di Milano in a project very interesting that I hope will be in some sense outlined in this afternoon by Professor Colombo. Finally, all our results are public results, are results for public dissemination, and our publications are basically on insights on a future energy scenario, on technological evolution, and also on policy and regulation. Development of new insights on policy and regulation is one of the most important activities at Enel Foundation. That's why we have a long-standing cooperation with RES4Med, and we hope to continue with this cooperation in the next future, not only for in markets where we are already present, such as Europe and also Latin America, but even for prospective developments, such as RES4Africa is representing now a very important initiative in this field. So just to have a closer look to some of this program, I wish to say a few words about two of the most important programs we have at Enel Foundation. One is on the urban studies, and the other one on electric mobility. So why urban studies? We are an energy strategic and research and study center. Our main aim is to develop scenario in the energy sector, so why urban studies? We believe that development of cities, development of global trend of urbanization is deeply related with the major trends that will be the driver of the change of our planet, of our society. And is deeply interconnected with major trends such as demographic growth, climate change, and globalization. We study cities, we study how cities develop, and especially how cities consume and produce energy. We know that more than half of the global population is urban, and we know also that more than 70% of the global greenhouse gas emissions are due to the global energy system. So we have to look at the city, we have to look at sustainable solution for city, and we have to consider that any solution developed for energy efficiency in city can have a global impact worldwide. And this trend is especially important, the urbanization trend, especially important in developing countries such as all the Africa area and Southeast Asia. We have the opportunity to present some of our studies to the Habitat 3, the global conference recently held in Quito, organized by United Nations. And this was the opportunity for more than 90 countries to understand the global urban agenda, where the energy represents an important part of the engagement taken by all the countries active in this field to change in the direction of sustainability. Electric mobility is another key point that is deeply interconnected with the energy sector, because we know that mobility is representing now a global issue. And there are many opportunities to consider innovative ways of mobility, such as mobility for cities where the growth trend represents today an issue. And that's why we develop a benchmark analysis and consider upcoming innovations in this field to understand how this will impact on social and economic development of cities and more generally of countries. But it's clear that even if electric mobility can represent a future solution to the urban mobility, from the strict point of view of the energy sector, it represents a challenge. And it's important for us to consider this challenge when we look at the perspective of the energy sector. And finally, just a few words on the issue of the energy access and development. And for developing new solutions for energy access, we are cooperating, we have a long-standing cooperation with many institutions, among these World Bank, Politecnico di Milano, and also Sustainable Energy for All initiative. We believe that different energy solutions can be found to foster universal energy access. And this is exactly a matter of business, so a progressive business operator as Enel Group, and also new perspective in business that will be developed in next years, can rely upon innovative solution on energy access. We hope that our research can help in promoting these new solutions in a logic and in the perspective of shared value solution, jointly considered by different stakeholders, business sector, institutions, and academic community. So this is a general overview of some of the activities we are developing in the frame of research and study at Enel Foundation. And all this can represent a basis for our activities in the area of multi-flag capacity building. We have different initiatives, not only in cooperation with RAS4Med, but also with other institutions, such as the Harvard Kennedy School or the other initiative with Politecnico di Milano. And we believe that promoting and fostering this debate among these different stakeholders can represent a basis to foster the sustainable transition in the energy sector, and not only the energy sector, but basically in promoting a new perspective, a new transition, a new sustainable transition in energy. So this initiative in RAS4Med, that I wish to thank again, and we believe that can represent an initiative, a starting point for future cooperation. And so I thank you again, all the participants to this course, hoping to be part of this community we are trying to build in the cooperation with all these stakeholders we are connecting as Enel Foundation. And I hope to see you in the next future. Thank you so much.